You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. Welcome to the Linda Hamill Insurance Coaches Corner. Now let's join Monty Walker with Howe Bulldogs head coach Lance Bryan.
All right, Coach, it was a dominating performance Friday night. Not just offensively, but defensively, special teams, not just seniors, but juniors and sophomores, complete package.
You know, we talked a lot after the first game, and, you know, even though we won the game, we thought there was a lot of areas that we needed to improve if we wanted to, have the season that we wanted. And so we really doubled down in practice in all three phases. And, the kids really came out to play. You know, it was obviously a really fun game to coach in. It's fun when you score that many points and you keep them out all but one time. And, we were perfect on special teams, and, that was a great win. And, hopefully that happens a few more times.
Defensively, another great game. But this is a young defense. 4 sophomore starters. Bo Stevens led the team in tackles as a sophomore. It could be 5 starters when you get Garen Langford back.
We told them when we first got here, we don't care what grade you're in. Senior, junior, sophomore, it doesn't matter. We're going to find the best 11 and put them in the positions where they can play. And we've moved a lot of guys around out of positions they played in the past into new ones. We've moved a couple linebackers to the D line. We've moved guys back and forth from safety to linebacker. We're trying to find the best 11 we can, and we didn't really care about what grade they were in because a player is a player. And sometimes puppies can bite, and so those sophomores have really stepped in. But we look at a lot of those sophomores. We look at them more like juniors because physically they have tools of an upperclassman, even though they might be lowerclassmen. But we're excited about the future of the defense, and it's funny. We had a really good defensive performance. We did, but watching film and at halftime, the guys would tell you that they almost felt like they were losing at halftime because the drive they scored on was right before halftime, and that's the one that we kind of focused our attention on because we felt like we kind of lapsed in that series. And there's always still stuff to fix. That's coach's MO. They always find the things to fix, and we still harped on the things that we need to still do to get better.
Well, we can't go without mentioning Austin Haley, your quarterback, had a unique night. Had a touchdown, 3 touchdowns passing, a touchdown rushing, and a touchdown receiving. First time any Howe player's ever done that. And now he's getting some recognition in the DFW area for his performance.
When you have a game like that, people are going to take notice. And as the game was unfolding and the yardage kind of started going up, I asked him before the game, what's the highest passing yard total you've ever had? And I noticed that one of his top 5 games was against me when I was at Sanger.
Uh-oh.
And so selfishly, in the back of my mind, I was thinking maybe we can go above that, try to knock that one down the list a little bit. And so, when he started, lighting it up and hitting all those receivers, that was obviously pretty cool. And in our wild dog package, we've got a few things in there to do. And one of those was to throw a pass out to Austin, and I think he thought maybe we were kind of joking, and Tom Bean lined up in a way where it was there, and so we called an audible and checked out to it, and I'm glad he caught it because if he hadn't caught it, we probably wouldn't have come back to it.
That's fun stuff. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're back in 30 seconds.
Hi, this is Matt Linder with Linda Hamill Insurance. Your home field is where everything happens, and I'm not talking about Bulldog Stadium. We're talking about your home, your car, and your life. For over 30 years, we've been offering bundled discounts on home, auto, and life. We offer Germania and Progressive insurance protection, as well as many others to suit your needs. Call us today at 903-965-4098 or come by and see us at 106 North Broadway in Bells, Texas. That's 903-965-4098.
All right, Coach, we were talking about Austin Haley, but the ground game, Antoine Rattler, stretching things out on the ground, continues to impress with his ability to get out of tackles and stuff like that. Really opens your offense up.
I know when I saw him last year on film, I saw a kid that was pretty explosive and can do some things on the ground. And whenever I got here, he was actually, we don't really have an off-season champion because there's no games played in off-season. But if we had one, he would have won it because his gains in the weight room were the best in the program and some of the best I've ever had of any player I've ever coached. And so he's gotten a lot stronger. And we talked about that. If you're gonna tote the rock. You're gonna take a pound, and you got to be able to deliver it too. And so he really bought into that. And he gives us a different element to our offense. So we knew with Haley and the receiving core that was back, and that we were going to be able to throw the ball around. And we knew with Carson we had a thumper back, between the tackles guy that can get the tough yards. But we really thought that to make our offense complete, we needed more of a scat type of back that could, that could break big runs and not just be between the tackles, but outside the edges. And he's definitely filling that role for us right now.
That's a big scat back. he's a large specimen. Now the pundits say, Coach, that okay, well done against 2A schools. Let's see competition against some larger schools. You're going to have that Friday night against Commerce. They're going to have some weapons on the field.
They do, and I would say that I think Honey Grove is vastly underrated. I think that's a team that's going to compete for definitely a playoff spot, but they could easily compete for a district championship. They have a lot of weapons. They won 52-0 in week 2. They were probably pretty angry. They let that first one get away, but we play who's on the schedule, and Commerce is up next, and they're definitely a very talented squad. And I know Howe's very familiar with them. They played them the last few years, and we left them on the schedule for a reason. We wanted to prove we were a different team, and they give us a good measuring stick to see where we are compared to last year and this year, so they're going to be a tough test. A lot of their better players that were on the team last year, most all of them are back, and so there'll be some familiar faces on their team that these kids have played against, and they already know a lot of them by name. And we don't look forward to games necessarily in circle ones, but I know from talking to the team, they've had this game in their mind for a while, because they wanted to prove that they can put the past behind them and go face an opponent they hadn't had some success against, and go compete.
Yeah, I think Bulldog fans and maybe broadcasters, if you get a win against Commerce on Friday, we might have to make a Kool-Aid run around this town. What would that do for the kids?
Everybody's always welcome to jump on the bandwagon whenever they want. That never stops rolling, and everybody can jump on whenever they want. It's a different feel amongst the team, and I've heard that from a lot of people that they kind of like what's going on, and we want to keep that rolling, and we're not going to stop coaching. We're not satisfied with one win or 2 wins. We talked to the team a lot about that winning it once or twice wasn't the goal, and line it up didn't have a number behind it. It's just ambiguous, because we want to do it as many times as we can, and so it's an exciting team. I think we're flying around on defense. I think we can be really explosive on offense, in the air and on the ground, and I think people that want to come out and watch and see what we're all about, I think they'll be impressed with what we're doing.
Yeah, one last question off the cuff. Last week you invited, or you challenged people to come on out, or asked people to come on out to the game. They did. They responded. A lot of people at the game Friday night. How much of an impact does that make for your football team?
It's huge. I mean, I've talked a lot about the support that's in this community, and I think that's a weapon, to use against other teams. When you have a large crowd and a large following, that's intimidating as an opponent. Because everywhere you go on the road, you look in the stands and you see how bought in that community is to their team and how supportive they are. And when our stands are completely full and it's standing room only, and they're running out of food in the concession stand, and they're running out of change in the ticket box for a week 2 home opener, it's not homecoming or senior night, or there's no special stuff going on necessarily for that game. I think that's huge, and honestly, it makes our community look really good. It shows how supportive our community is, and how much they support the high school teams. And
I know for a fact the Booster Club sold 90 programs.
That's awesome. And so, but there's still people that probably didn't come last week. They're still welcome to come this week. And, like I said, the bandwagon's always open. We'll take all passengers.
Today's Coach's Corner has been brought to you by Linda Hamill Insurance. You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party.